L.I.T.T. There's Dooms and that girl Tony. It them finally came together. Atlanta and New Orleans. Living in today's time. We lit. Air Monday 9 to 11 on the night, yeah. You don't wanna miss it. Got the dopest guess and we kick it. Stay lit like the night before Christmas. Tony and Duke, best in the business. Watch him get it. Go to YouTube, search IBNX Radio, the Lit Network. Entertainment guarantee. Have you laughing to your hurt? Because we lit. That right, we lit. You know we lit. Tony and Duke stay lit. Turn it up, they lit. Start the show, they lit.
Hey, what's up? How you doing? Yeah, I did it. I took it from you.
Yeah, okay. Well, I mean, all right, we in this bit. As you can see, we here. Yeah, you're there, we here.
If you stay ready, you'll never have to get ready.
Absolutely. This Duke does Doom.
It's your girl, Tony Dominique, the one and only, your favorite person in the world. I'm going to claim that for you.
How were y'all, Juneteenth and Father's Day weekend?
My weekend was great. I spent my weekend with a great, wonderful friend.
Oh, that's awesome.
And his family. And, it was really cool. And he was really cool. And his family was cool. It was just a cool vibe, It was awesome. Family time is one of my favorite moments. So anytime, whether I'm with my family or someone else's family, and it just really feels a good, unawkward moment, those are the best times for me. Yeah, I like those moments.
It's nothing like some good family time.
Yeah, what about you? Did you enjoy your weekend?
Yeah, I did. I enjoyed it. Just kind of get off the mouse wheel a little bit, you know what I mean? So, it was pretty fun. Took my daughter to Pine Mountain. That was a good experience. So good family time, definitely. I'm definitely one for family time.
I am too, but we're not gonna keep y'all. We're gonna go ahead and get on into the show. We know we're running a little behind. You know what I'm saying? Technical difficulties. 2020 is a bit, and we don't really like her like that. So we're going to play the first song of the night, so we can go ahead and get it started. It's T-Dot with that freaky shit. Oh, I curse y'all.
Freaky. We lit.
Crazy.
Yeah. Well, all right. She ride the dick like a rodeo. I hit from the back while she grind slow. She know what she doing, she trained to go. Keep giving her dope till she overdose. Stay on that freaky shit, that's why I love her. Bring her best friend and we fuck her together. No questions asked, she do what I tell her. I fuck with her heavy cause she wear whatever. She like that freaky shit. She like that freaky shit. She like that freaky shit, that's why I love her. Bring her best friend and we fuck her together. No questions asked, she do what I tell her. I fuck with her heavy cause she been what up. She like that freaky shit, that's why I love her. Don't lie to each other, we keep it 100. No matter time of day, night or the morning. I just bang a line whenever I want it. She got that wet with that super soaker. We don't need talk, she just bust it open. I got that magic stick, she got the potion. I put on my gear and I dive in the ocean. Damn, I can't lie, my shorty the goat. When she suckin' my dick, all I feel is the throat. She a big gon' freak like Megan, that's why I don't mind when she driving the boat. We be together, she gon' get litty, especially when I'm going at that Henny. I kiss on her neck while she play on my Jimmy. I rub on the kitty and suck on her titties. She got a body, some bitches to kill for. Small titties, ass real though. I got her in my bed on all fours, banging her head on her headboard. She like when I fuck her and look in her eyes, or grip on her ass while I suck on her thigh. Say I fuck her like no other guy. Girl, you trippin', you already know why. She ride the dick like a rodeo. I hit from the back while she grind slow. She know what she doing, she trained to go. Keep giving her dope till she overdose. Stay on that freaky shit, that's why I love her. Bring her best friend and we fuck her together. No questions asked, she do what I tell her. I fuck with her heavy cause she wear whatever. She like that freaky shit. She like that freaky shit. She like that freaky shit, that's why I love her. Bring her best friend and we fuck her together. No questions asked, she do what I tell her. I fuck with her heavy cause she been whatever. She like that freaky shit, yes indeed. That's why she hate when I gotta leave. Cause I drop stick like it's Need for Speed. Beat the boss up like Apollo Creed. She got a body, you paint on the canvas. And her pussy be sweeter than candy. Swear to God, she stole my heart like a bandit. Niggas they want her but know they can't have her. I ain't gotta tell her, she know what I like. She ain't a rapper but she rock a mic. Pop a few beans, get high as a kite. Then get on top and ride me like a bike. Now boot that ass up, put your face in the pillow. Now throw that ass back to me, girl, while I drink. Call me the man, you know I deliver. So fuck what you heard, you know I'm that nigga. If never you wrong, I wanna be right. That pussy so good and you keep that shit tight. I think it's the best I done had of my life. Fuck around, we getting married tonight. She love when I fuck her and look in her eyes. So grip on her ass while I suck on her thigh. Say I fuck her like no other guy. That's a damn truth, girl, you wanna know why? She ride the dick like a rodeo. I hit from the back while she grind slow. She know what she doing, she trained to go. Keep giving her dope till she overdose. Stay on that freaky shit, that's why I love her. Bring her best friend and we fuck her together. No questions asked, she do what I tell her. I fuck with her heavy cause she wear whatever. She like that freaky shit.
If there's something hot to talk about,
It's not.
That freaky shit, like I'm fucking with that.
You like that?
I like that. That rich, that hood ratchet shit.
Okay.
Like,
Well,
for
T
real.
Dot, if you listening to the
T-Dot.
show now, or if you catch
That's-
it on the
that's lit.
playback, he was liking that. He was feeling that.
I'm bumping that. See, I'm bumping that in a V4 Honda. You understand?
That's
She ride the dick
real
like a
good.
rodeo.
Okay, 'cause
I
was
hit
about
from
to
the
play
back while
something
she
else
grind
for
slow.
you, and you was like not feeling it. So he's really come along. He's come up for you.
T Dot played something. He sent something in and I wouldn't feel
Yeah,
it.
you wasn't feeling it.
Okay, well, I mean, you know what I'm saying?
And now you know. I mean, that I
He
think
probably,
that was
that
like.
song probably was from the heart. Something else he probably was trying to
I
make.
think that the song that I'm talking about probably was like months and months and months ago. So he went back to the drawing board and brought you something that you like. Good job.
Yeah.
Good job.
Shout out to T Dot. Freaky
Anyway, moving forward, it is time to get to the more important time, everybody's favorite time, Tony's hot tea topics. Drop that for me. For me. You gotta say it like real proper. Drop that for me. Real proper valley.
something hot to talk about, whatever it is, you know that we gon' put it out here on Tony's Hot Tea Topics. Tony's Hot Tea Topics tonight.
All right. Okay. Well, we said it in the beginning, really, that, you know, we was asking about how everybody was feeling about their Juneteenth celebration. So we just kind of wanted to tap in. Well, really, Duke. I'm going to give my Tony C topic to Duke because he wants to educate y'all a little bit on, you know, Juneteenth. I mean, everybody was out celebrating. I know it was like the most celebrated that has ever been this year. You have a little dibble dabble here and there, but this year everybody kind of came strong. Everybody kind of at least remembered the date and time that they were supposed to show up at the cookout, and they showed up. So what you want to tell the people?
I mean, Juneteenth is important. You know, if you don't know, Juneteenth is also known as Freedom Day, Jubilee Day, Liberation Day, Emancipation Day. It's a holiday celebrating the emancipation of those who have been enslaved in the United States, originally in Texas. It is now celebrated annually on the 19th of June throughout the United States. But, you know, we celebrated early, right?
No, we celebrated it on the 19th.
Okay, so I have my dates wrong. Okay, cool. So, I mean, it's really when they found out in Texas that somebody was still, you know, enslaving people and, you know, it was supposed to be everyone was free. So it's very, very important that we celebrate that day. I think a lot of people were in tune, you know. So I was, you know, excited about it. Even myself, you know, I think this year just been trying, and for Juneteenth to fall right in the the thick of things, I think it just everybody is like, man, there's no way you don't connect with it,
Right.
in this year amongst many. So, you know, I want everybody to just be black and be proud. I've heard somebody say, if before in my life, that if they were able to choose, that they would choose to be a different race. I've heard somebody say that, and I don't knock if that's how you feel about it, but I'm prideful in being black, and I understand, what it takes as far as the uphill battle. But I think that's a part of our sauce that makes us as cool as we are. We have a natural cool factor. We the shit with no flies on it. You know what I'm saying? So, I want everybody just to keep their head up. And I think one thing is crazy, but I think it's true, it's accurate. I think that black people are the only people when they part, they say stay safe. I don't think Asians say that when they part, or Caucasians say that when they part.
They might. I mean, we're not in their household, but it is more known for us to do it.
Yeah,
Stay
you do
safe.
it. You know what
Text
I'm
me
saying?
when you get home.
You
Let
know?
me know you made it safe.
Yeah.
Call my phone. We always want to make sure that from point A to point B, nothing happens in that transition
and
moment.
it wasn't even anything like new. I remember the old heads saying that to us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but what do you want to say to other people? Because I've been around Vietnamese. I've been around, Caucasian people. Look, I never heard them when they part ways say stay safe. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, we're more we're more prone to not have that safety that everyone else tends to have.
Right.
And so, I mean, that's a conversation. That's what we're fighting for now, or that's what we're writing for now. I start to see it kind of dying down. So I hope everybody really understands that that was just the tip of the iceberg. That wasn't even, the whole breaking of it all. We still got a lot of footwork to do, a lot of shouting, a lot of fussing, a lot of kicking down doors, and whatever it takes to get the point across. Because I think that's what they're waiting on. They're waiting on y'all to get tired. How long can we wait for you to get tired before we can move back to normal? Let's just let them have a little fit, kind of like you get the little toddler. Okay, go on and kick and stomp on the floor. Okay, you got some time, but are you done so we can get back to ignoring y'all? So, y'all got a lot of work to do.
Yeah, I mean, collectively we all have a lot of work to do. I think on the day to day, I think we should definitely become to be able to just understand things and just to be able to fight. You have to fight with your time, your efforts, the way you raise your children in your household, and you also have to fight with your finances. And sometimes if your finances are always wrapped up in just what you're responsible for, you're not able to extend yourself. For instance, if you have a teenage son that happens to go out for college and he has a beer and maybe smokes a little weed and just enjoying a milestone in his life, like probably many of us probably done, right? And has a vehicular homicide. Now, they're going to try to paint him bad. They're going to try to find every little thing, every fight that he's had on the school grounds or at the park somewhere, and create everything to really, really kind of break him in the eyes of those who don't know him, right? And you're going to need a lawyer for that, just to say he made a mistake. How can we best, of course you got to address it legally, but how do we best handle the situation where he's just not threw under the bus? And I think a lot of young black men get railroaded. They're not able to bond out. They're not able to, they get higher, charges and stuff like that. And then even when they got a bail, the bail is extremely high. And your average person don't have $500 to $1,500 to $2,000 just like that laying around.
That's true.
You see what I'm saying?
True.
So, even with this, I'm gonna close out. I watched that Meek Mill documentary on Amazon Prime, and it just shows a lot of that. How a lot of kids, just get caught up in the system. A lot of young black men and Latino men get caught up in the system. They just can't get out, and it's such a small amount. And people would say, "Man, you should be able to have that." And I'm like, "Man, you're in a different world where you think somebody could just pull out 2,000." You see what I'm saying? So, I understand it. I come from that environment, and I know a lot of people do. You know what I'm saying? And that's from middle class on down. I know a lot of middle class people that just don't have 2,000, 2,500, 3,000. You know what I'm saying? So
not to just, they may have it, but it's for something
it's
specific.
It's
not
not
necessarily
it's
for
not just a
something
loose
non-planned.
3,000. You know what I'm saying?
It's not a non-planned stash.
Right.
So I get it, y'all. Just my take on it is you keep fighting. You got a lot of doors to keep knocking on, a lot of things to keep kicking over. Don't let the fight end here. You know what I'm saying? Make sure the change actually happens. Watch the change over the finish line. Keep marching until you're over the finish line of the change. If not, then Y'all just out there throwing temper tantrums, and I would hate to see that be the end result. But we're gonna move on to the next thing. We're gonna play the next song. It's called "Main Concern" by Twan Mac. I think that's his name, Twan Mac. And then we're gonna bring in a special guest. She got a lot going on. It's a girl power day, honey. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I like to take over and let him feel like he's doing something. But anyway, y'all listen to Twan Mac, "Main Concern."
Twan Mac, main concern. We lit.
Are you? Are you really?
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm at work and I'm doing what I want to do. So.
And you gotta
Uno, dos, tres. I need the company to rock along with me. I need the company to put your hands up. I need the whole planet, black, Asian, white, and Spanish. I need the whole planet, put your hands up. Now put them up, y'all, put them up, keep them up. And over there, y'all, put them up, keep them up. And right there, y'all, put them up, keep them up. And over there, y'all, put them up, keep them up. Hey, my main concern is my check. My main concern is my check. Fuck accolades and respect. And fuck them big chains on your neck. And fuck your big homes and your pets. My main concern is my check. Check. My main concern is my check. My main concern is my check. Fuck accolades and respect. And fuck them big chains on your neck. And fuck your big homes and your pets. My main concern is my check. Check. My main concern is my main concern is my check. Fuck accolades and respect. And fuck them big chains on your neck. And if you are paid, then you said. And if you owe, don't pay your debt. Rich figures also get wet. This ain't no personal threat. But if you bang, throw your set. But this my dope as it gets. Direct deposit is best. You best to stay out of that shit. This a Kareem City set. Serious like Bobo Fett. Young brothers having a fit. Bro Lion Sherman is lit. Bro Lion Sherman is lit. I need the company to rock along with me. I need the company to put your hands up. I need the whole planet, black, Asian, white, and Spanish. I need the whole planet, put your hands up. Now put them up, y'all, put them up, keep them up. And over there, y'all, put them up, keep them up. And right there, y'all, put them up, keep them up. And over there, y'all, put them up, keep them up. Hey, Kareem City got you in trauma. Heat up the scene like a sauna. I'm about the biz, not the drama. Won't tell no biz to your honor. Hope there's a long life in front of me. I'ma do what I wanna. You gon' do what you gotta. No matter what, you not hotter. Lacoste and nostalgic, I'm fonder. As a result, got a lotta. All my bros keeping that llama. Mannequin challenge like comma. We're gonna eat from the palmer. Hand me some grands, eat the show like I'm Dama. Missing Obama, already missing Obama. My main concern is my check. My main concern is my check. Fuck accolades and respect. And fuck them big chains on your neck. And fuck your big homes and your pets. My main concern is my check. Check. And my main concern is my main concern is my check. My main concern is my check. Fuck accolades and respect. And fuck them big chains on your neck. And fuck your big homes and your pets. My main concern is my check. Check. My main I need the company to rock along with me. I need the company to put your hands up. I need the whole planet, black, Asian, white, and Spanish. I need the whole planet, put your hands up. Now put them up, y'all, put them up, keep them up. Right there, y'all, put them up, keep them up. And over there, y'all, put them up, keep them up. And over there, y'all, put them up, keep them up. Yo, where Milwaukee at? Where the Shy be at? Where the D be at? Down south be at? West Coast be at? East Coast be at? Up north be at?
So, was y'all really main concerned about that? What y'all really need to be main concerned is about this Juneteenth, Black Lives Matter, don't stop the battle, don't quit fighting. That's
Absolutely.
what y'all really,
Yeah.
really.
And stay financially literate. Or if you're not, try to learn it and keep your credit right. And when you're in that 700, man, you're in a different type of space.
I definitely agree with that because in most cases, everybody who, not everybody, but a lot of people who complain about the world bringing it down isn't really putting in the steps that it takes to learn,
Right.
to educate themselves,
Right.
to grow, to move forward,
Right.
to really see what opportunities are about. Because there's a lot of minority opportunities out there
Right.
that can really help you grow. But if you don't even at least use the good Google, I mean, Google don't have all the answers, but it's got a good basis
Definitely lead you in
for
the right
some
direction.
people. You know what I'm saying? You gotta want more. The desire is the first step. You know what I'm saying? You could sit on the porch all day and be like, oh, I wish I could, or this person is doing it that way. Why it ain't me? But if you don't take the steps to move in that energy in that direction, you already lost and you're gonna stay losing.
Like, you know what I do? I have a home page right on my phone where
I
somebody
think
tell
everybody
me
has a
something.
home page.
Well, I'm just saying. You can switch out different stuff, right? And if somebody tell me something or whatever, shorthand, I'll just look it up, and then I'll just save it and say, would you like to make a space on, you know what I'm saying, on your homepage. So I would just save it. So I have a bunch of different things that I go to when it's time to, and I'll shorthand, leave notes. And I think a lot of times in conversations, a book, somebody may reference. They're not gonna say that, hey, write this down, you should get the book. But if you catch it, sometimes jewels are dropped in conversation.
And you gotta put it in that moment because I even forgot.
That's what I'm saying. So I'll just look it up and then pop it, boop. I may buy it, I may audio book read it or whatever, but I need to have it. And I think we use these phones for a lot of entertainment, but these phones, they could do a lot more. It's a business.
It could.
It's a business piece. You got to have it.
Okay. That's a jewel you just dropped on the people.
Yeah. I mean, I tell people all the time, you really, this is a business. I mean, or it could be entertainment. This be something that you play with, have fun with.
Well, speaking of business and entertainment and girl power, no, I'm just joking. Yeah. We have Christy Lux here. Hey.
Hello. Hey.
How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
So I just want to say your resume, to me, it's my personal opinion, is impressive. Girl, you was out here putting in the work.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, so tell the people the different levels to what you do.
Well, let's see. I am currently a talent manager, and I am the owner of the Southern Conference of the UBA, which is the men's minor league basketball. And I own the South, 6 teams in my division, and I am the president and owner of the WUBA, which is the women's league.
Can somebody teach me how to play basketball? I think I need to get
come on.
Wait, is there a cheerleading squad? I can do cheerleading.
I mean, we need one. We need one, so all you have to do is just come on. Get your friends.
That's all I can start right quick. I was going to try out for the Falcon cheerleader because, they had just had their virtual. I was like, oh, this is virtual. I could do virtual. You know what I'm saying? I was like, nah, never mind. Never mind.
We can always use cheerleaders. So,
yes. So if y'all see me on either the men and the women, because they both need cheerleaders.
That's right.
You know that it started here today.
That's right.
I think you should try out. I should hook that up.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Be the president of cheerleading.
There you go. You never know where you can fit in there. Get in when you fit in. You got to get in when you fit in.
I ain't coach nobody but little kids.
Man, they were people.
I don't know how to coach adults.
But so how long have you been in the business of ownership?
For the league?
Yes.
I actually bought the men's division last year.
Okay.
So we were in the middle of the season, and of course, everything happened with COVID-19. So the season ended a little bit abruptly, but I was actually approached during that time by the owner of the men's league about purchasing ownership of the women's league. And, it was a good fit. It was a good fit. It was a good opportunity. And it was something I really saw, I saw the vision, and we made it happen. So our first season for the women's league will be in October. Now, the WUBA ran for 7 seasons, and it ceased about 3 years ago. So this is not the first season of the league, but it will be the first season.
So
with
it's
me
like
as
a
president.
regrand opening.
It absolutely is. It's a reboot. And it was a good time, with everything happening with COVID. A lot of players that are pro players that play overseas for the women will not be returning overseas. We don't know what that's going to look like. Some are just scared. They don't want to go overseas anymore. So this is a prime time for us to reboot the women's league and, give these women an opportunity that they deserve. They very well deserve. So we're excited about it.
I'm excited about it.
Sounds interesting.
Yeah.
I don't believe like women leagues don't get as much, love as they really should, because those women be out there working hard.
They work hard, and honestly, in the minor leagues, I feel like the women they have a better presence. We have more fans that come out to the women's league, but at the end of the day, when you look at levels like the NBA and the WNBA, the women don't get the same respect that they deserve, but they work hard, and they deserve a platform to really develop their level of professionalism and advance their careers in a safe and secure space, and that's what we provide. So we're looking forward to it.
That's awesome. What was you about to ask?
What was I about that? Oh yeah, I want to know, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people want to know, how can they get tickets and things like that? How does that go? They just go to your website or
Yeah, they can go to WUBAlive.com, and the games, the schedule will be up. The season starts again October 4th. And the schedule will be up, and they'll be able to purchase tickets either on the site or directly, of course, at the games. We have currently 4 different conferences. We're in Atlanta. We're in like the Oakland area in New York and in the Carolinas, and we're still adding divisions before the season. So it's a lot of opportunity to be able to come out and check us out.
So if you're not overseas or you're just like someone who just wants to try out for the men or the women, how do y'all have like open call or how do they try out for something like that?
Yeah, we do. We actually have tryouts. Typically, it'll be about a month or two prior to the season. For the men's season on the UBA side, the men's season starts in February. So our draft is December 1st. So typically we start running tryouts like around August. This year, we're not really sure what it's going to look like. It's so many changes. We're waiting to see what the gyms are going to, what's going to happen with the gyms and what the new guidelines are going to be. But typically around August. For the women, we'll start doing tryouts around August as well, probably early August, end of July. And we post everything on our site, so WUBAlive.com and UBAnow.com. And the information is there, and they'll be able to come. The different divisions have different tryouts, and then as a league, we have tryouts as well. And our draft is virtual, and it's going to be amazing. So we're really looking forward to the draft this season. And yeah, that's what they do. They just, submit, find out where the tryouts are in their local areas, and come out.
So where do you guys play? What arenas do you guys play?
It depends. It depends on the division. Every division has an owner and someone that oversees the division. Here in Atlanta, historically for the men's league, we've played at the Andrew Young Y, which is like the very first YMCA in the Atlanta area. And we've had a partnership with them for years now, for 10 seasons. So we're looking at going back there. We may switch up the location for next season, but that's where we played the last season. And it's been a good partnership. It gives us an opportunity to give them exposure. And we have fans that know where to come when we're in season, and they come out and check out the games. So we may continue that partnership with them. But each division is kind of different. So if they go to the site, they'll be able to tell exactly where we're playing for each division.
Now I have another question. Is there an age cap, or is there an age entry level that they have to be before they're able to play?
It's post-collegiate. Okay. So we're the minor leagues. So you have to have experience. They have pro-am leagues. So the amateurs, they can play in the pro-am leagues, but we are a minor. So we're a semi-pro league. So you have to have experience, which is post-collegiate. They have to have played in college at some level. So the age is typically going to be around, 19, 20 and up. If they still have game, and they're in their 30s, then absolutely. They come, they try out, and if they still performing on a level for the minors, then, but the whole
what
thing.
If the 50-year-old comes out, the 60-year-old.
I don't know that a 60-year-old can really still, perform and hang out with the young kids. They can try out. We don't discriminate. They can try out all day. Now, are they going to make it?
I'm just saying, they be like, I can do that too. You know what I'm saying? You always got the uncle to be like, you know what I'm saying? I'll show you up. I'll show you up, young boy.
Yeah, them 19-year-olds. They got something to prove too? Oh, no.
We will absolutely welcome them if they come and try out. At the end of the day, the goal is our league is geared towards, it's the middle way. It's the mid-step between going pro and leaving college. Not everybody gets drafted straight to the NBA or goes directly overseas from college. They need that middle ground where scouts can see them, where they get their stats, where they get their film, and that's exactly what we're there for. So the people that come to our league are looking for a professional career. Yeah. It's not an amateur league. If you come to just work out or pick up games, you can do that somewhere else. You can do that, in summertime on the court. We are specifically for professionals. We have sent over 300 players pro from our league alone. We have international games that we do every year. We have 4 different cups, and that's an opportunity for only the UBA or the WUBA players to come and be seen internationally. So it's, for us, it's not a game. It's not pickup games. It's not, don't come in. If you're not serious about a career in the sport, then we're probably not the league for you. But if you are, then we invite everyone to come out. We teach them, the fundamentals, but also how to prepare for being a pro. There are a lot of things that they don't know going pro, even from financial literacy to how do you conduct yourself, on the court as a pro. How do you get endorsements? Because all those things are important. They don't want people who can't speak. You can't just play but not also be a representative for a team. So these are all the things that they learn in that segue going pro.
So say you have someone that went to college and maybe played 1 or 2 years in the league, but very good talent, but maybe come from that classic broken home and just don't have the superstar talent, but still middle of the road talent, you know, and still have a lot of upswing to them and some potential, but has those character flaws. How do you, what stuff do y'all take to help those individuals be able to overcome that?
You know, a lot of different things. We have workshops. You know, we work with our players individually. We do media training, all those different things just to prepare them, you know. So it's a lot more. Our players are also, they do community service, because service is also a large part of, you know, who you are and how you develop as an athlete. So we offer all those things. It's preparation. But, you know, at the end of the day, like I say, if you're just looking for pickup games, we're not the stop for you. You can find a pro-am league or, you know, a rec league, and that's probably for those players. But if you're not serious, then we're definitely not the place for you.
I think you have a comedian out there watching that wants to know, can they do jokes during the halftime?
What comedian would that be? I mean, I'm just
Not
saying.
this one.
Not that one? Okay. All right. Well,
Another one.
absolutely, because let me tell you, that is something that we do as well. During halftime, we love giving opportunities to, you know, people in the community. We have upcoming rappers and singers. We have the little kids, you know, who come out, and, you know, they're sponsors, because we are also a community-based corporation, you know. So we have them come out, and we've had performances in the halftime and between games. We typically will run like 3 games per game day. So when someone comes out to our games, they don't just see one game. They're going to see 3 teams play, you know, throughout the division every Sunday. Typically we run on Sundays. So
What's the hours?
It depends. Like the last season for the UBA, our game day started at 2:00. So we ran till about 7. You know, and you come out and you can see all the different teams play, and it's good because it's, you know, you get to see the competition and you can follow your teams and follow your players and, you know, get a full day of activity, and for the kids as well as the adults. So yeah. So yes, that comedian that wants to come, absolutely come tell us some jokes, you know.
All right.
Keep
so
our
if you're
team
still
hype.
out there listening, if you're not still watching, then you missed that opportunity and you can't do it no more. But
That's
if
right.
you're still watching,
But you got to be funny. I'm just saying.
It's gonna
Don't
be,
come and not be funny.
I'm betting all comedians that want to do it, y'all gotta make me laugh. And I don't just laugh for no reason. You guys like make me laugh. And it's real hard to do sometimes. So if you can make me laugh, I'll then pass your information to her for her to consult with you. To
That's
put you
right.
on the halftime.
entertainment portion.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
I always be inserting myself in something, don't I? That's my favorite thing to do. But like, okay, so I work here now.
Right. We'll find a place for you. So, you know.
I work everywhere.
Well, that's all right, because we need help everywhere. So
Yeah.
you come to one of my games, I'll put you to work.
See that?
Okay. See, I done got me another job.
See that?
See how that works?
That's awesome right there, bro. You heard about Johnny? You heard about that? You listening? You know what I'm saying? Somebody need somebody. Y'all need music for halftime? Y'all have that?
Oh,
We
my goodness.
actually do.
See?
We have music in
See that?
between, but you never know. Somebody might get sick or
See?
upset. You know,
Johnny, where's your
Johnny?
business card?
Come on, Johnny.
Johnny!
He's gonna make one right quick. Make one online right quick.
You got a classic.
So outside of basketball, you also say you were a talent scout.
I'm a talent manager. Yeah.
Manager.
Yeah. So I have a client. I actually started managing talent in '99. I started my first talent management company. I was on the music side, and I used to manage underground hip hop artists in Brooklyn, New York. And I had like a group of like 13 artists. And, you know, I did that for a while. And after a while, I was like, I don't know if I still want to do this, you know. And moved from Brooklyn to Atlanta in 2001 and found a dope group of MCs. Got here and started doing kind of more branding and marketing. And I met the group Soul For Real, Candy Rain, and I actually managed Soul For Real for a while, and on their comeback, and it was great, but ultimately I think management was not where I wanted to stay because it is a very underappreciated.
I was just thinking that because I've had several artists ask me to manage them.
Yeah,
And I have a big brother in the industry, and he's like, "You could do it, but it is so underappreciated.
You're
you know, if they get a deal, if they get that, you're not guaranteed to move with them.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. There's so many non-guaranteed moves that could be made without you, even though you put in the legwork and the time and the energy. So
yeah, it can happen. It can happen. So after years in management, I kind of focused more on branding and event promotions, and moved out to Dallas for a couple of years and met the CEO and publisher of Crave magazine. They came to an event that I hosted out there. I did events for like HBO and Tyson Beckford and fashion events, and they came to one of my events, and they actually did an article about me in the event promotion I was doing in Dallas. And it was kind of like, let's work together. So I worked with them. I started off as their director of brand development for Crave magazine for a couple of years, and then transitioned into the editor-in-chief position. And I was in that position. I was with Crave for 10 years. And I just stepped down in 2018 at the end so that I could do different things, kind of create space to do other things. I felt after 10 years, and
you gave them a good run.
I really did, and it was time to do something different. But I needed to create space to do that, whatever that different was. While I was at Crave, I actually met a model named Travis Cure. And I met him. It was a fluke. I met him on a fluke because we had a shoot scheduled with Tank and Des Bryant from the Cowboys, and we had it scheduled out in L.A. And Des had to get back with the Cowboys. The schedule was thrown off. Tank was like, "Yeah, I want this designer, this designer." He was like, he wanted to pick his own clothes, and it was just too much. So I'm like, I'm not gonna send the whole crew out to L.A., and Dez is not there. Tank is wilding out, so we're just not gonna send. We're not gonna bother.
Right.
But I had a stylist, and he was like, "Listen, I pulled $20,000 worth of clothes.
Somebody.
That's right.
Somebody
is gonna put them on." He was like, "We need to get a model or whatever." And so I called my publisher, and he said, "You need to get Travis Cure." He was like, "He's in Atlanta, and if you put him in a suit, he's gonna look like the Black James Bond." And I had never met Travis. So I was like, "Okay, well, if you say so, I trust you." And we had a shoot, and he was absolutely right. He was like Black James Bond, and I was like, I see something here, And after that, it was kind of like, we need to create a program specifically, because what happens with Crave, and it had happened for years, we always found talent first before anybody else. We found models before anybody else found them. Keith Carlos from America's Next Top Model, he was like the first male winner of America's Next Top Model with Tyra Banks. He was in our contest like 4 years prior. But you never get credit. When somebody big finds them, then they get the credit,
they was
right?
Discovered by
this
person, that person.
Absolutely. So what happened was I said, let's create a program, a brand ambassadorship, where we can show people we're going to find a model that's not huge yet. We're going to get behind them, push their career. And we're going to start with Travis Cure. And that's exactly what we did. And in that, me, of course, having a management background, it was like, maybe you should and it was like, because the management thing, like I said, very underappreciated, but it worked. It really worked. We had a great relationship, and it just worked. So we grinded it out for like 5 years, and then he was on covers of magazines. He's absolutely one of the most recognizable faces on social media, and we had done a lot of independent projects, and then finally, like last year, we got a call from Tyler Perry Studios, and they were like, the casting director called me, and she said, "Hey, Michelle Sneed, who is the president of Tyler Perry Studios, would like to talk to Travis directly. Is that okay?" I was like, "Yeah, let me just call him, make sure he has his phone." So I did, and I was like, "Listen, look out for this call." She called, and like an hour later, Tyler Perry called himself and was like, "Hey, I have this show, and I want you on it. We've been watching you, and I want you on it." And it was really that's exactly how it happened. So Travis is on the Oval now, and
that's how
we're getting ready to shoot season 2. Yep. And
that's how the greatest moments are caught. People, it takes obviously work and time and attention, but sometimes it just takes the right time.
Absolutely.
The right
Absolutely.
person, and you got to get out there. You got to move. You got to just talk to somebody. I see people going everywhere. Oh, I don't really like to go nowhere. I don't like to do nothing. But you got to get out. And most people get on me all the time because they're like, you just talking to strangers. I'll sit at a bar eating, and the person next to me, I might just start a conversation, or I'm out and about and I just start a conversation. I'm at the grocery store, the person in front of me starting a conversation, because you never know who's in your space. And you never know what those 2-3 minutes could get you into. It could get you in a whole whirlwind of greatness that you didn't even prepare for or plan for or put in too much work to get into. Like I love talking to everybody.
Yeah, and you have to. And let me tell you, we did the work. Like, we did the work. We were beating the streets. We drove from here to New York for covers and stuff. We did the work. We kept him visible. I mean, he was the product, I was the business, but we also were strategic about how we moved. He got offered a lot of roles that we passed on. People were like, oh, we seen so-and-so and so-and-so on this show and this show, but we haven't seen Travis. But that's because we're strategic. You don't take everything. You have to know what's right for you. And in the right time, the right role will come and it'll take you to a next level. So we just focused. We did the work. We kept him visible, and the right role came, because we could have taken bit roles and little parts in, Tyler Perry series, or little parts in this and whatever, where you see them once and you don't see them again. But we passed on those things when they came to us. We knew that the right role was going to come, and it was going to be big enough to really take his career to a next level. And we just focused, and that's literally what happened. That's what happened. And so now we're keeping it moving. We're going to shoot season 2 of The Oval. With the COVID, of course, it delayed it, but we're going into season 2 now, and it's just, it's up from there. It's up from there.
So out of everything that you currently do, you got the basketball league, you got the talent management, and wasn't it the third and the fourth one?
I hope not, because let me tell you,
I thought it was something else, and now I'm trying to add one.
I don't put anything else.
Before you get into that, I want to ask you a question. What is the contrast or the likeness with managing an artist and then a model actor?
It's all the same to me. To me, in my mind, from back when I was 19, I started like retail management, and like I never had like a regular retail job. I was just always really smart and really kind of a go-getter. So I started in retail management, and I was in retail management for years. And also art. To me, management is management at the end of the day. That's how my mind sees it. You kind of get in the lane that you need to be in wherever you're going, but it's all the same to me. It looks the same. From corporate to retail to managing an artist to music, it all looks the same to me. Yeah.
I guess once you start to understand the fundamentals of that industry, then you're like, okay, I just need to put these pieces together.
That's it.
And
because
move in this direction.
That's it. Ultimately, management is about being able to lead and being able to make sound decisions based on information that you have. And whatever that industry is, whatever it looks like, you still apply the same fundamentals. So, it was all the same for me. It's all been the same for me.
So out of everything that you do, what is your greatest passion?
I think my greatest passion is really, I'm a Scorpio. So we're driven by power and success. So I think for me, my greatest passion is always just going to be in a position where I can lead. You know what I mean? I love both industries. I have the creative mind, but I also have the business mind, and I have to walk that fine line to be able to be happy in what I do. So, where I can create, which is like with Crave, I was in a creative industry where I did creative direction on set, but I really ran the business. That's what the editor-in-chief does. So it's like walking that fine line. I can be a creative, but focus on the business. So I feel like anything where I'm in that vein works for me. I love basketball because I grew up with basketball. My dad was a Hall of Famer. He played in the Globetrotters. He was for 20 years.
The
yeah. So he was the high school legend, a college legend, a Globetrotter legend, a Rucker legend. So basketball has been in my blood since I was young. But I don't play anymore. I played, you know, from 3rd grade to 11th grade, and then felt like I got too cute to sweat, so I didn't play anymore. So, you know, it's like I still love the sport, but the business is who I am. So I found kind of the lane that I could get in where I could really kind of focus on both, and then also respect the legacy. You know what I mean? Pay honor to my dad's legacy.
So what's Pop's name?
Jumpin' Jackie Jackson.
Okay.
Number 23, Globetrotters, look him up. I mean, he literally, he paved the way for a lot and opened a lot of doors in basketball. He was one of the reasons they even created goaltending. Only person that could block Wilt Chamberlain's, you know, shots.
Jumpin' Jackie Jackson.
I met Wilt, and Wilt calls my dad big man. He was like, yeah, your dad was like the only one that was blocking my shots. I met him at the Rucker Hall of Fame at the ceremony when my dad got inducted. Connie Hawkins, that was like, you know, his friend. My dad did a commercial for Nike. I remember back then they did a movie on Earl Manigault, the GOAT.
Yeah, the GOAT.
And a lot of people seen the GOAT, you know, because they saw the movie.
Right.
And they remember seeing in the movie, like the GOAT jumped up and snatched the quarter off the backboard.
Right.
But that was my dad's legacy. That's what he did. And I met the GOAT myself. And he said, I don't know why they put that in there. That's like some Hollywood stuff, because anybody knows that was Jumpin' Jackie Jackson. Everybody knows he was the one that literally was snatching the quarter off the backboard and leaving the change. That was his legacy, you know, what they said about him. And I remember my dad, he passed last year in May. And at his funeral, you know, a lot of his friends and people who knew him from back when, they all came and they all got to tell their story that they remembered about my dad. And one of his friends said, you know, people always knew the legend of taking the quarter off the backboard and leaving the change, but they never asked, how did the quarter get there in the first place, right? No one has ever asked that. And he said they used to do quarter bets in Brooklyn, you know, on the courts, that he could jump up and take the quarter off. And they would bet like the other kids that came through, and they said they always knew because the quarter got up there in the first place because he put it there. He would jump up and put the quarter up there first.
And see who could take it down.
And then he would take it down. But see, they didn't know that he was putting it up there. So they already knew when they were, you know, making these bets, and they were taking everybody's money. But
It was hustling people.
They were hustling him, you know. They were hustling him, I'm telling you. But at the end of the day, basketball has always been in my blood, and it just became important for me to respect the legacy and respect all the things that my dad did for all those years. And I came across the UVA just by chance, and it was a perfect fit. So I would say my passion, really, to answer your question, is in that, just because of who my dad was. And I love my dad. You know what I mean? I love my dad. So that's really important to me. But for who I am and all the things that I've done over these past years in entertainment, you know, managing and having a client that's really rising to the top is like a big thing. So, yeah, it's been pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Now, let me ask you this, because I don't think we tapped into it. Where are you from originally?
So I was born in Oklahoma, Fort Sill, Oklahoma. My dad was in the military. He got drafted. He played with the Globetrotters, and he got drafted to the military for 2 years. My grandparents had retired military there. So during that 2-year period when my dad got drafted, he was at Fort Sill, and that's where he met my mom. So he was on the road, you know, traveling after I was born, and we were in Oklahoma with my grandparents. My dad traveled the world. He traveled the entire world 6 times.
That's,
you know, so
I feel that my mom and dad, they met in Guam.
Yeah. So I was there until I was in the 7th grade. My stepdad was military, and I lived overseas for a few years. Then I was in Texas, and so my more formidable years between Texas and New York, back and forth. So I feel like I'm kind of like a hybrid, you know. I have like that New York swag, but that Southern girl, you know, personality, that charm. So I can kind of, it's a nice mix, because I can be nice, but you can't play me. So it's kind of one of those things, you know. Yeah.
Sometimes what we go through is who we need the characteristics we need to pick up along the way to make us who we need to be. So
absolutely,
there's no shame in being from.
She's funny too. Just on meeting her, like, you know, just through social media, like we just keep in touch through there,
Because I used to want to be a comedian.
Did
I
you
told
really?
him that. Yeah, I think sometimes I think I'm funny. I may have a good joke here and there. You
should
know,
do like a
but
little open night and see what it looks like.
I'm not ready.
But just her the fact that she can connect with comedy on a level on certain things that I've said in post, and we had this talk, and and then I'm like, do you think that I'm funny? And she was like, yeah, I think you're pretty funny.
I don't think you're funny. So you're the only one.
So I was
Pretty
like,
funny.
I was like, all right, I'll take that from somebody that I think is funny because certain things that she'll say, I was like, man, some people are comedians. They just don't. It's not their profession. Like I've met old men that were just comedians, man. They hung around the neighborhood, hung at the shops or the barber shops or mechanic shops. They're just funny old ladies cooking in the kitchen, just funny, and you just like, man, it makes the food taste better. Laughter, everything. She got the right song on, playing low with Anita Baker.
Right.
I think that's because everything's not supposed to be on display. Some things are just for those moments that you have.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. But we take that, and we harness that, and we get on stage. Comedians, we get on stage, and we represent for not just ourselves. I know comedians won't say it.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like the what's that movie? Wow, Eddie Murphy just did it of someone. It was last year. He just did it. Dolomite. Was it Dolomite?
Yes. Yes.
And how you took all the old guys saying all the old stuff. I grew up hearing them saying it, like knock knock. My grandpa had 1 million knock knocks. And then it gets you every time, like, man.
Those are the best ones. Riddles and knock knock.
All that, and there was one, the white man, the black man, the Asian man, Indian man. They hit, who's coming up with this? Like, and it would be funny, and it would hit home every time.
Top riddle, like I really sit and think about riddles, and I'm really, I can't say that I can answer every single one, but I can pretty much hit a good 8 out of 10 riddles.
Yeah, it had you scratching your head too. For real.
Look, like, I love it. A man left for town on Sunday
we're not going
and
there.
stayed 2 days and came back on Monday.
Pause his mic, please. We're not ready for him.
That's gonna have you scratch your head all day. I'm telling you.
So I have 2 things for you because we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. One, if you could say something to anybody out there who's really trying to figure out how to get in a position to lead in the journeys that they want to lead in, what would you say to them?
Just at the end of the day, create your own lane. No is not really a thing to me. And I think that everyone has to realize that. There's no such thing as no. It's not that way. So if you hear no, it's like, okay, maybe not that way.
Or not with you.
There's always a way to do anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No is just like, all no is saying, okay, well, you don't do it this way, but we got to find another way to do it. I think that everything can be done. You create your own lane, do what you have to do, but you just don't take no for an answer, You don't have to wait, and people don't have to give you an opportunity. You absolutely can create your own opportunities. You can create your own lane. Yeah. And once you realize that, there's just no stopping you, I didn't finish college. I went to college on an academic scholarship. I missed like 6 on my ACT. I ranked in like the 98th percentile, so I got an academic scholarship. I didn't even finish. You know why? Because I got bored. I was going to be an accountant. I was like, I don't really see this.
I feel that.
But yeah, so, I feel like you can do anything that you really want to do. You just have to create your own lane. There's a way to do everything. So if somebody tells you no, it just means, not that way. Find another way to do it.
So how can people kind of follow you, keep up with you, watch the basketball league, and kind of follow? Do they have it? Is there a social media for that? And of course, management, just in case they want you to. Somebody else might want you to manage them.
Yeah, and actually, I just picked up Phyllis Stickney. You know Phyllis Stickney?
No.
You gotta look up Phyllis Stickney. Old school. She's a sister from, remember New Jack City? Okay. And she played the attorney in New Jack City. Beautiful sister back when she was a comedian. She was like, she pioneered so much stuff in comedy people don't know. But I just started working with her, and I typically don't pick up new clients. That's never been my goal because I have so many things that I'm doing. But definitely follow me at Christy Lux on Instagram, Lux House MMG, and that's Lux HAUS MMG, and that's the site for the business. www.ubalive and ubanow.com. Same on Instagram. WUBA Live and UBA Now, UBA South. There's a lot of stuff out there that I'm,
Right.
that we
If
do.
you follow one,
but
you
just
can tag
follow
the
Christy
rest.
Lux, and everything else is in my bio.
Everything else shall
Everything
follow.
else is in my bio. You can see everything that we got going on.
Well,
But,
we
yeah.
really appreciate you for coming on,
Thank you
sharing
for
some
having
great
me.
words of wisdom,
Yeah.
telling us about your journey and your story and your dad. It all was just amazing to me, and I really appreciate you coming out, taking the time to come in and hang
you.
with us. We're gonna move on to the next song, JLC. We're gonna play 10 Rings. We're not gonna play 10 Rings. I was just joking. Sometimes sometimes I just be making up stuff, and I
You
guess
can't
we'll
be
just.
making up stuff.
Well, I can make up stuff. You know what I'm saying? She said I could
can't
do
just do
whatever.
what you want.
She said I could do whatever I want in my own lane. We're gonna play "Make It Home" by Sin. Okay.
We lit.
Want you to give me all of your love, just in case you don't come home to me. You make it home, yeah. Give me all of your love, yeah. You don't come home to me, yeah. You make it home, yeah. You know I'm down to ride, you feel me? And I'll be by your side. I'll make it easy. You know the life you lead is far from being drama free. I need the lock and key, 'cause when I play for keys. I know you gotta leave. Make sure you take a piece of me. And I'll be waiting for you to come back. Boy, just take haste. Want you to give me all of your love, just in case you don't come home to me. You make it home, yeah. Give me all of your love, yeah. You don't come home to me, yeah. You make it home, yeah.
When I step out that door, I'm stepping into a war. Gave you all of my heart and anything you asked for. I pray for us every day before I start. If I don't get away, they won't capture my heart. So when I'm roaming these streets, I'm heartless. And I'ma make sure we eat, girl, regardless. No matter what we go through, no matter what we're facing. It's money that I'm chasing, while our love moves the nation. It's home that I'm racing to feel you embracing. Drop panties like shell cases, kisses be like wine days. Homes and oasis, all I see is green faces. Travel to strange places, but I cover my base. I leave you money to spend in case I get locked in. All I need in this world is sin. It's me and my girlfriend.
Just in case you don't come home to me. You make it home, yeah. Give me all of your love, yeah. You don't come home to me, yeah. You make it home, yeah.
To us losing, you said never again. Come on, sin. Started move my pen, I wrote back, we gon' win. I know you hope I make it, my love, you can take it. I gave you my word, you gave me your heart, I won't break it. Nightmares got to shake it, it destroys the vision of you being naked, whether I'm on top or in prison. Our love doesn't stop there, even in the electric chair. My last word will be I love you and I still care.
Just in case you don't come home to me. You make it home, yeah. Give me all of your love, yeah. You don't come home to me, yeah. You make it home, yeah. Want you to give me all of your love, just in case you don't come home to me. You make it home, yeah. Give me all of your love, yeah. You don't come home to me, yeah. You make it home, yeah.
Our love doesn't stop there, even in the electric chair. My last words will be I love you and I still care. Till they put me in the gas, there'll be flowers in the bath. I'll keep firing on these bats and keep bringing you class. I'll keep firing on these bats and keep bringing you class. I'll keep firing on these bats and keep bringing you class. And will I make it home? You don't have to ask.
to me. Yeah, you make it home. Yeah. Want you to give me all of your love.
Oh yeah, that was lit right there.
You make it home.
I like that.
Where you can give me all of your love.
And I like how y'all got it playing. I went and used the restroom on a quick break, and I was still vibing.
You were still vibing?
Mm-hmm.
You were hurting in the sounds all over the place?
Yes.
Surround sound on IBNX Radio. No, I'm just joking, y'all. But so the next thing we would like to go into is a lit conversation. You know, we have to have, the first beginning. We just kind of give y'all a little teaser of what's going on in the world. Then we got to talk to the people. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Christy for coming in and really sitting down. Like, she's somebody y'all need to connect with. She's got a lot going on.
Yeah, she's dope.
And she is busy, so don't be just blowing her up in her DMs. Like, really have some business about yourself. Present yourself in a good manner and come with a plan.
Yeah. Present yourself like you was raised. And if you wasn't raised...
Don't present yourself like you was raised. There's some people that was not raised well.
But if you wasn't raised well, then you might need to go and talk to somebody and help you present yourself or something like that.
Don't talk to me because I ain't helping nobody these days. But let's have a lit conversation, Duke. You had some things on the menu. I'm really just giving you the show. You know what I'm saying? I rarely ever do that.
Oh, really?
I really ever do that. I'm so proud of me today. Just letting you have some moments out here in these streets.
Okay.
I'm just playing, y'all. But our conversation today, first, this Trump rally. Y'all really outdid yourselves with this Trump rally deal. Y'all, in the case that y'all don't know what I mean by that, there were several individuals who got a space for the Trump rally, and they just saved a seat because obviously you didn't have to really pay for anything, but they saved a seat just so there weren't any room for Trump's actual supporters. They bought thousands of seats, so when he went out to give his speech, it was empty. Like, no one in the seat. Almost like if y'all remember back when 50 Cent purchased the whole front rows of Ja Rule's
yes.
concert.
It was,
and Ja Rule had to perform in front of a whole empty front row seats.
It was some King Petty shit.
That's really what happened. Like, can you imagine you really gearing up thinking you about to really do some things, and you walk out, ain't nobody out there.
Hell of a speech. They ain't gonna believe this when I drop this on them.
And there's nobody out there. Like, at first, I think Trump was kind of trying to deny it. He was like, the social media doesn't have that much influence. It was just a glitch. But social media, y'all did it. Like, I didn't get a ticket, but it was just so funny to me that, you know what I'm saying? It starts with that going viral stuff, and then boom. Like, so going back to what we were talking about earlier, we have more power than we actually use. Like, that was like a minute, small thing that we like.
It was major though.
You know what I'm saying? And I know there's no way you can tell me that didn't affect him in his mind when he went home that night. Yeah. Because there was another article saying that he canceled his next rally because, he because of the social media people, the social media bandits, he likes to have his fake news and everything, that he canceled the next one, saying that they're going to work on being more secure and more, I don't even know what word I'm going to put there, but...
Nah, what they need to do is they need to make sure they secured enough people so if somebody don't show up, they got standby people, a busload waiting.
Yeah, but how do you do when everybody show up? What do you do with those people? Send them home?
You have a situation.
We don't need y'all right now.
Yeah, you have it. Like, just send them to Golden Corral. They'll take that. They'll be like, hell yeah, man. Shit. A bunch of people with Trump shirts on and red hats just eating at Golden Corral. They didn't.
Oh my goodness.
You was not needed today, sir.
I guess it would be like the seat fillers that you have like at the red carpets when somebody get up to use the bathroom, or suddenly someone has to come and sit in that seat just to fill the space, so when the camera pans through, it's not empty seats. Right,
exactly.
You have Trump fillers, seat fillers.
Something along the lines of that. But good job for everybody in the social media world. You showed your power, and we need to continue to do that. We definitely need to spend our money the way. Like, listen, if there's a mom and pop hardware store, you should go there. You should definitely spend your money the right way. I can't tell you got to go to every African American establishment, because we know just because you're black don't mean that you provide the best food or service. But I do feel there's a power in being able to spend your dollars with your people. So we need to definitely do that. Yeah, so, Oklahoma, if you don't know, Black Wall Street, it was, in the Greenwood neighborhood in Tulsa. This was in 1921. It was a massacre. The government and probably a lot of other different people probably came together and just made sure that they stopped some very successful and well-mannered black people. People were doing real good. They were self-sufficient. They were what Nipsey Hussle was aiming for.
So I just want to drop in there, just let y'all know that it wasn't anything really minor. There were 600 businesses, 21 churches, 21 restaurants, 30 grocery stores, 2 movie theaters, 2 private airplanes. I mean, it was a big deal. They had
the airports,
hospitals. No, it says private airplanes. It doesn't
okay.
say airports. I mean, mind the business that pays you. I'm reading what it says.
Okay.
Plus a hospital, a bank, a post office, schools, libraries, law office, and even their own personal bus system.
That's impressive. So that's no longer here.
I mean, it can be here again. I mean, it's very, there's different areas and towns and stuff that you can, buy up and.
Wasn't there a town in Georgia that was?
I think it's still there.
Yeah. Yeah, I shared it. I should. Oh wow, we'll get it to you.
Wrote it down.
We'll get it to you. You just tune in next. Just stick with us. We got that coming. But it was a town in Georgia. I think it was like $1 million or something. What was it like? Something like along lines of that.
Yeah, I feel like a few celebrities could probably get together, but I mean, even so, a few well-off people could probably get together and really formulate that. You know what I'm saying? You don't really have to be a celebrity. I believe we rely too much on celebrities to do, some of the things that we can, pull together and do ourselves.
I agree.
It's like, why the celebrity ain't saying nothing about it? Well, I mean, they don't really have to say something about everything. You know what I'm saying? They own the right to kind of chill back sometimes or watch and relax or get their mind in the place that it needs to be. You know what I'm saying? It's sometimes up to the workers to put in the work for that.
Yeah, I agree with that. So again, that goes back to earlier on the show when when I mentioned financial literacy. You definitely want to understand how that works, understand how the dollar works, and understand how important it is to be able to borrow someone else's money and make that dollar work even, take you a little bit further. So
yeah, y'all might need to check back on those shows where we had Uncle Money on. If y'all remember our financial advisor that came on a couple of times to kind of talk to us about financial literacy. Wonder if we could see if we can get him back on. Shout out to him. He just got married. Just recently got married. And so congratulations to Randall Avery, a.k.a. Uncle Money. Y'all check out his books and all the things and follow his agency and get your finance together.
Yeah,
get it
please.
together. You know what I'm saying? Get your credit score right. You know what I'm saying? Get your buying power back, and we can probably build this whole city. You want to have like a Duke and Tony city?
I don't know if I want you in my city like that.
Well, I have my own city.
There you go. You do your own city, I would do my own city.
No.
Because you won't have pastel-y colors hanging from the trees.
I don't even like pastels.
No.
No.
That's a pastel, is it not?
That doesn't mean I like all pastels.
I'm sorry.
Sometimes it's just like what you put on. He's so rude. Like, I don't even like him like that sometimes.
But listen, again, we're powerful. I want you to be proud of who you are. We come in all type of shapes and sizes, and even the doctor
what
can
does
tell
the
you.
shape and size have to do about?
But what I'm saying is, even with the doctor will tell you, you're not ideal size, and we don't measure up to those standards. You know what I'm saying? So appreciate yourself. I'm just saying, just self-worth, appreciating yourself, as a whole, as a being. You know what I mean? Not just race or any of that. Just don't let no one tell you, just like what Miss Luck said. No. Don't let no one stifle you. Don't let no one put limitations. No one should put the ceiling over your head. Okay. So that's all. I'm just giving some
You're just trying to put some energy out there.
That's it. And that's what it's about, because even with our show, even with what you do, what I do as individuals, and then collectively we come here and provide this, it's a lot that we go through. And, you know, we figure out how we're going to overcome the hurdles and things of that nature, and we do that. Even with the establishment, IBNX. So, you know, this entrepreneur thing is something else. And it's very exciting, you know. And there's a lot of people even ask me, 9 to 5 people, like, man, how y'all do it? You know, I can't see how y'all do it. You know what I mean?
No knock to the 9 to 5 people. Okay.
No, I don't knock.
Because sometimes you need a good 9 to 5. So you can be both. You know what I'm saying? You can do both. You can work your 9 to 5 in the day, or your 5 to 9. I don't know. Maybe
or it might be a 5 to 5.
You work your business in the day, and you work your 9 to 5-ish type job during the nighttime. I mean, it really is. Or you might work a part time. I mean, whatever you need to do to get your bills paid, do that. And,
definitely be responsible.
And feel unshamed about it. You know what I'm saying? If I when I clock in to get my job, as long as my bills are paid, and unless somebody is donating to fund my bills, need not be concerned with how I get my money and what I'm doing. Like, that's all.
I could definitely dig that.
That is my biggest thing. I hate when people always have some commentary on what you're doing and how you're doing it, but they don't add anything of like, hey, you could do it this way, or here's some suggestions. And I believe one of the things that we could do to formulate, kind of get back to the Black Wall Street, because I'm pretty sure in those moments they were helping each other. I get so often where I'm just trying to figure out some information, and everybody kind of wants to give you that vague little like, oh, well, you know, it just took hard work, and I just, you know, it just kind of fell upon my lap out the blue sky. It was like a rainbow that just kind of hit me one day, and boom, magical, I was rich.
Yeah, stalks were just passing through over my head,
you know
dropping blessings.
Just, you know what I'm saying? I had a little stuff just freaking out. I woke up one morning and it was like $1 million under my pillow. Like,
yeah,
what?
I mean, people feel some type of way of you know, giving out some information or giving you a lead on something, or you know, a potential, you know, resource that you can utilize to maybe kind of, you know, advance in what you're doing, you know. But on the flip side of that, those people probably were burnt in helping people, you know. So when somebody helps you, you have to then come through.
Yeah.
You have to come through and not make that person regret helping you, because they take those scars. These are relationships that we're building. You know what I'm saying? So business relationships work just like intimate relationships.
Yeah, definitely play it forward. But we're gonna play our last song of the night, and then we're gonna bring in our last guest of the night as well. Then we're gonna wrap it up. Y'all know how we do. So we're gonna play G Supreme, Hit the Lever.
G Supreme, Hit the Lever.
Johnny Boy, Hit the Lever.
Johnny, we lit.
Breathe, got on a level higher than college, carve a bevel of knowledge. Seems odd cause I abolish figments, twist your ligaments is rigorous. Lyrics got more pull than your mysterious trigger gets. Spit hits you ain't heard today. Bird of prey, run away, attack your back, split your vertebrae. Turn them into power, you in there flexing the drama. I've been there, so I'm in the chair next to Zen Osama. Obsolete like a gaffle, you be baffled like your ass balancing on a raggedy scaffold. Sergeant of arms, you in harm's way. I bomb your whole squad. I'm wilder than Dante. You know it's me, cause the plate shook. The game I see got more players than fakers than Facebook. I only roll with original hip hop. Some soul they sold for that mobile and digital flip flop. Yo, hit the lever, hip hop forever, but keep it clever. When we gonna stop? Never. Variety of styles, keep it fresher than never. The realness of the deal's not something you sever. Yo, hit the lever, hip hop forever, but keep it clever. When we gonna stop? Never. Variety of styles, keep it fresher than never. The realness of the deal's not something you sever. I create the great, slice negative and deploy. In other words, I'm on my way after I build and destroy. Cheating on my foes just like dominoes, black or white, and watch them all fall down and roll. And I'm clowning those who just can't see the spit. More than 4 bars without repeating the shit. My words knock you like a boxer. Even if you stronger than me, I still manage to outfox ya. I invent and arrange it. I'm bent like Skynet, cause I feel I was sent back to change shit. Face slap for taming them. If you strike back, I'm intact like I'm laced with vibranium. Take a sedative, I'm hotter than the sweat to get. Don't you ever give, you're better than the negative. Spit your hype, spit your life. Cause if you spit somebody else's, that shit's so trite. Yo, hit the lever, hip hop forever, but keep it clever. When we gonna stop? Never. Variety of styles, keep it fresher than ever. The realness of the deal's not something you sever. Yo, hit the lever, hip hop forever, but keep it clever. When we gonna stop? Never. take the mic out of a tangle. Never newfangled, I can spit it at any angle. The bullshit don't sit fast, fuck the rip raps. You can't get past, try and see how long your shit lasts. I quantum leap Scott Bakula, spectacular, so enlightening, that is frightening. I get back at you, don't wanna spit it, it's more for us. They calling me Morpheus, cause I can see what's in store for us. I got the will and skill and do what I want. Others trying to front, but they still coming up short. So what you want, better yet what you thought. Your soul is bought, fish in the bucket, just waiting to get caught. So put it down, put it down. I hit the gritty ground, take your ass back to Kitty Town with your pity sound. I kick lyrics like a roundhouse, straight to the left, send you to the dot, flying through the townhouse. When you in the air, I'm hitting and kicking you with the finisher move. Pull out the mental sword and splitting you. That'll be the end of your fake wall apart, and then I'm cutting you into smaller chunks. Say a prayer, you ain't gonna survive, son. I'll be the super sayer. Yo, hit the lever, hip hop forever, but keep it clever. When we gonna stop? Never. Variety of styles, keep it fresher than never. The realness of the deal's not something you sever. Yo, hit the lever, hip hop forever, but keep it clever. When we gonna stop? Never. Variety of styles, keep it fresher than never. The realness of the deal's not something you sever.
Yeah, that was you know, where my light at? Got a light.
Oh, really? That's how you feel?
I was saying, nah, listen, it had such a hip hop feel. Me and Johnny was just talking.
Why you
about
gotta say his name?
You know what I'm saying?
Johnny.
Johnny, drop that.
So that's what his name translates to you.
Yeah, well, I mean, it just seems cool. Like if he was a DJ, a mixtape DJ, that's how you probably Johnny. You know what I'm saying? Drop that when you know it's his time. But yeah, is your uncle making a mixtape? Did your uncle make? Did he?
Yeah.
I'm saying, okay, all right, cool. So I mean, all right, shit. That's how. All right, okay.
Oh my God.
What we got next?
Dude, I cannot.
I liked it. You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying was it sounded like it had a timestamp on it, and it should have possibly been released
back in the 80s?
prior to now. Maybe like what about? I don't know maybe when crack was like 5 years old.
What?
Crack was like 5 years old. That's about 90, 1990. Maybe we should have dropped it around that time or something like that.
Oh my God, Duke, I cannot.
I don't know.
When crack was like 5 years old. At what time? What year was that?
Well, crack was birthed. Crack was birthed around like 1983, 84.
How you know?
When it was cooking, it was freebase and all that. When it was,
was you even in this world at that point?
No, I mean I got an older car, born in '84. So in the early '90s, that's all I saw in the neighborhood. Like for real. I remember.
Where do you come up with this stuff?
I remember up until when I was 4 years old, walking from McCarthy School on Catherine and Claiborne to my grandma's house across the canal in New Orleans. I remember it like I remember seeing.
You remember it like it was yesterday, huh?
Yeah, my uncle ex-girl Clotilde, she used to come pick me up and drive me over to my grandma's house. So, I remember those days, the '90s, some of the '80s. When we was living in a project, our real project. So I remember living in that.
I really don't understand you sometimes. Like you have the most interesting yet confusing stories.
They're not. They're so not. You gotta just vibe. You gotta understand. A kid from the urban land. That's it. We go through things, but at the same time, it makes us wise. So gotta read between the lines. Oh yeah. So.
All right, so we had some very good conversation. I hope y'all really enjoyed this show because I enjoyed it today.
Yes, we had Christy Lux. She came through and bossed up for the ladies, for everybody, for the melanin. Young black queen out here doing her thing. UBA, WUBA.
She my new shero. I'm trying to be like her when I
see that. Yep, everybody want to be a Lux.
So Christy, if you hearing this, you my new shero. I'm not gonna be in your DMs because I just think it's weird, but you know what I'm saying. I might say, hey.
She ain't gonna be in her DMs because she already got her number for real. She don't gotta do that.
Why you gotta bust me out? I swear you act like them little kids that always be telling all your business all the time.
Yeah.
Like, ooh, my daddy had a friend over the other day, and she was sitting right here.
She ain't spent 2 nights. She was there for 1 night.
Kids really do that to let you know, like, kids Daddy, I see you, And I like this one, so don't mess it up. That was cold.
Yeah, kids are natural cock blockers. Like little boys, I done went over houses. Little boys just don't want to go to sleep. Tell this little nigga, man. That's why you gotta, bring a little juicy juice. Put a little,
Bring a little juicy juice.
Put a little Benadryl. You already pre-popped it.
I am not going to.
Put a little Benadryl in there.
No, I know now. I'm not gonna let you give my kids anything.
But you know what I'm saying? You got grown kids now. At your age, if somebody come over, they gotta give them the car keys. They gotta like put something on their PlayStation Network or their Xbox Live or something. You know what I'm saying? Promise them the new system, the 5 or something. You gotta do. They at that age. You know what I'm saying? You gotta take their. Matter of fact, they just want you to take their mama away from the house. Like, come get her, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Come get her. She ate, so we straight. I mean, she cooked, so we ate, so we straight. So, just come get her, and y'all just have a nice time, and just, shit, man. Like, she bothering me, man.
I don't bother my kids.
Well, I'm just saying, like, that's the mentality of boys.
Earlier today, I try to tell everybody my oldest son is crazy. And everybody's like, no, he's not. He real chill. He real mellow. He really respectful. And he is all of those things. But an additive to that is that he's crazy. He is loud, and he's a big personality. And so I was on Snapchat earlier today, and I had a video of him. And we just had some music in the house vibing. And he was just dancing, like, being really, like, not like, hey, I'm a teenager dancing, like the teenage dance, like being, like, really goofy dancing. And I recorded him, and everybody was like, what is he doing? I'm like, I keep telling y'all, like, I gotta have video evidence for people to believe me. My son he's crazy, and he be in there irritating my spirit.
Sometimes you gotta do that. Sometimes it's just an autistic, release. You just gotta release yourself with no structure or nothing. You just gotta, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes I like to do that, particularly when I'm driving. If it's long drives, I really like to release myself. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Really like to just kind of.
So is our.
Yeah.
Oh.
Sometimes, you just gotta. You ever watch the movie Dumb and Dumber? Remember when he said you want to hear the most annoying sound?
What's that? What?
Remember when the guy he asked Jim Carrey's character if you want to hear the most annoying sound, and he was like, okay, and then he just. You did that little number. He was like loud, high pitch.
I haven't watched Dumber and Dumber in a long.
Oh, it's funny. It's hilarious. It's a classic. But driving in the car, sometimes I just release. Sometimes I might just, sing my favorite song loud, extremely loud. As I pass people, connect with them, lock eyes.
While you driving?
And get back to the road. Let them know I see you right there. You're driving too slow. Move over. You see what I'm saying? So, it's just some things you got to express yourself while you're driving, when you're having a good time. Always drink water, stay hydrated. So.
Okay.
That's just my thing. And then my road music. You got to have some good road music. It's nothing like some good road music. What's a good road song? I'm thinking. You know what's a good road song?
No, I don't.
Whitney Houston.
Dance with somebody?
What?
Want to dance
with somebody?
Oh, okay.
I want to feel like heat. Oh, you did. I'm just saying. It's just some things. It's just what it is. It's nothing I can do about that.
You know what? That was real loud. Like you could tell that's your favorite song.
What?
When it's your favorite song, you get extra.
Throw some Anita Baker on or something.
Wow.
Classic stuff.
Anyway, we gonna I'm gonna be real ghetto, y'all.
We calling her.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like calling. You gotta have like ring, ring, ring. Like I feel like you gotta have the whole
experience. They gotta feel it.
Of it.
They gotta feel it.
Hello.
Hey, what's going on?
What is going on?
She answered the fall all casual. Hey, what's going on? You know what's going on. You're on the show, don't tell me what's going on. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm in the middle of doing my makeup and all this other stuff.
That's
to
how
go
you,
live.
That's how you're supposed to be here on the Lit Network. We are
What's
a
going
family.
on? What's going on? What do y'all need?
I'm on hold. Are y'all coming on the video?
No, we're gonna have this whole call right now.
Okay, cool.
So Kiana Dance, we have Kiana Dancy for those who are watching. We have Kiana Dancy. She's a comedian and an actress. Okay. Am I leaving anything out? She's an entrepreneur.
Absolutely. I'm a comedian. I'm an actress. I'm an author. I'm a franchise owner. I'm a media personality. I'm a TV show host. Oh, you left a whole bunch out, sir. How are
Okay.
She
Well, I
said
just wanted you to do
respect.
your job, ma'am.
She said respect her resume.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Clearly.
I'm
Respect
sorry.
her. This is a whole girl power show.
I see that.
None of these both ladies are like, look, we got some boss moves happening, and you need to respect that, dude.
I
Don't
see
play her
that.
like that.
So that the people know, the guests earlier and this young lady here, then they they know each other well.
Why?
Yeah, that's one of my best friends. Absolutely.
Boom. You see how we did that? That was not a coincidence. That's working in tandem. That's what we're doing.
What's happening?
Oh man, it's nothing much, man. I do appreciate you coming on the show and being able to call in, and sit in and let the people know what you got going on. Like what's going on with you? I try to follow some of your stuff, but you're too high end. You got the blue check now,
Oh yeah, she's official.
Yeah.
Well, I'm busy. I'm very, very busy. I have been, as of late, doing my online shows called On Live with Kiana Dancy, Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. on Instagram Live. And then also I have Celebration Sundays on Sunday at 5 p.m. At this point, I just decided to create my own content. And I chose Instagram as a platform because, it's easy. People can just get on. It's no tech issues. If you have Instagram, I have Instagram, just jump on my live, right?
Right.
It definitely has worked. I've grown my following. I've been exposed to their particular, to my guests, to their platform and their followers. So it's been a dope opportunity for me to expose myself to a different demographic. But I will tell you, Instagram ain't always that reliable. There's been some times when it frees up on you, people get in and out, but that's with anything, you know what I mean? So like if you get online and you ain't in a good place and you don't got good Wi-Fi, it's gonna drop. You feel me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but then I've been working on my book and I'm actually in the middle of building out my store. We're probably about 3 weeks away from opening my store. I own a cell phone repair store. It's called CPR, Cell Phone Repair. It's the only store. Well, CPR is the only location in Duluth, but we're the only franchise location that's owned by Black women. So my mother and my mother and I are both partners with my brother, but we are the only 2 Black women partners in the company. So that is quite exciting. We should be open in about 3 weeks. COVID has absolutely slowed us down, but honey, it didn't stop us.
Yeah, I don't think COVID really, I hear a lot of people saying COVID slowed you down or slowed people down, but I really think COVID just allowed you more time to prepare. You know what I'm saying? If nothing else, because we're always in life and we're moving, we're shaking, we got this over here, we got that over there. COVID just allowed, for me, I know when I look at it, COVID just allowed me time to really plan, to think with a clear head, and to really put some things in place that, you know what I'm saying, I might have overlooked had I been too busy to focus on those things. Myself.
Yeah, I agree. It definitely was that for me too. But let me say this, and please, and whoever's listening who may have been directly affected by COVID, maybe they've lost a loved one, or maybe they're sick themselves. And I mean no disrespect when I say this. COVID for me and my family, and my immediate team has been a blessing. It's put us in a position where we were able to get, some breaks, some financial blessings, just certain things. Like this is the first time ever that the government has ever been able to give this type of money to small businesses without certain requirements. Like the SBA is literally handing out money, whereas before, if you tried to get an SBA loan, you literally had to promise them your first child and your last. So if you're in any kind of business, you could have gotten a forgivable loan. There was some assistance. There's a lot of businesses, don't get me wrong, that are closing and shuttering their doors. But if you are in position and you have your business in line, there is definitely money available to you. And unfortunately, there was a lot of lives that paid for this opportunity. So that's why I said, please forgive me and don't take it as I'm saying, I'm negating the fact that, some people did pass away and a lot of families were affected. But thank God my family was not. But we did, we in a sense, we kind of were blessed by this process. Through this situation.
Yeah, I get that too. And I definitely respect, the lives that were lost. in this, and the prayers to those families. But I mean, it has.
Absolutely, and it was so unfortunate, and not only unfortunate, but it was a waste. If the leadership, and I'm not even, boy, if he would have taken heed to all of the signals and all of the advice that people were giving him once from the beginning, not dismantled the pandemic organization that was the bureau that was already in place from Barack Obama, we wouldn't be suffering at this point. I mean, he knew about this weeks in advance and did nothing. So with me bringing that up, I will say that should be an even more reason why we should vote to get him out, because he literally have over 100,000 people deaths on his hand, literally.
Yeah, because he definitely could have planned better. And not to just kind of shift a little bit of the gears. You when you came on, you kind of listed your resume that Duke wasn't prepared. You had a list of it.
Duke
No, I'm just
ain't
joking.
prepared.
I was just messing. But out of all
You shady booze girl, I love you. I love you.
I'm the queen of shade. I'm like 50 Cent's little sister. But but I wanted to ask you, within your resume, what was the first thing that you started that really started the wheel on becoming who you are?
That's interesting that you would ask me that, because nothing that I said was the beginning. So I came out of corporate America. I graduated from Georgia Southern University. And when I graduated, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I took the LSAT and decided that I did not want to go to law school. But I did take a job. I was offered, and it's funny how things work. I took a job for Samsung Telecommunications. I ran the fourth largest market in the country, which is Houston, Texas. And I was offered that job after going to Vegas, laying on my girlfriend's couch, like, girl, I don't know what I'm gonna do with myself, because I really didn't know what I wanted to do. And I think it's a lot of pressure for young adults to have to figure out what they want to do at 20-something years old for the rest of their life, right? So I was offered a job with them. Then I was also offered a job with Sony, which required that I move to California. And at that time, I was not ready. I felt like I didn't want to go to California. I didn't know anyone out there. I didn't, no. And then my mom was in Georgia. California just seemed like way too far. So so I took the job in Houston because I had family in Houston. The cost of living was better in Houston. The job opportunity, the leadership, and all that was better for me in Houston. So I got the job, took the job, mastered the job, got laid off from the job, and ended up moving to LA. So when I got laid off from Samsung Telecommunications, I literally packed my bag, put my car on the truck, and left my man in my house, honey. I was like, y'all figure it out. Goodbye. So,
wow.
It was one of those. So in the midst of, me living in Houston from 2004 to 2009, I had started doing stand-up. And it was one of those things I never saw for me. Like, I've always been entertaining. The people always laugh with me. You know what I mean? But it was like, wait a minute, I can make a coin? So my girlfriends used to tell me all the time, after the millionth time my ex and I broke up, she was like, girl, you need to tell these stories on stage. I was like, oh, you want to laugh at my misery? Eddie Broad, you are. So I actually did. I took my stories about my ex and I breaking up, I took it to stage, and that's when I fell in love with stand-up, because it wasn't my thing. Like, I didn't do stand-up in college. I was funny, I was entertaining, but I didn't win class clown in school. I didn't do, comedy shows when I was in college or even in high school, but I was drama queen in high school. But so to answer your question directly, what really got it started, I would say, is, Samsung just taught me how to manage my business, how to handle my business, what to do, when all else failed, I bet on me. You know what I'm saying? So when I got laid off, they gave me a package. I moved to LA, and I never looked back. Now, of course, LA, I ended up coming back to Atlanta because there was so many opportunities for me here in Atlanta. I got a Lifetime project. I ended up getting on a talk show when I came back to Atlanta. But, I learned so much about myself being out, out in the world, and just being independent, and just, bossing up and figuring it out because I had to.
I have a question for you.
Sure.
Because I met you as a comedian, and then I was able to.
You met me at a comedy club.
At a comedy club.
Because I still was all these things when you met me. You met me doing comedy, right?
Okay, well, yeah, there you go.
She getting you all the way together.
Yeah,
yes.
It's totally fine.
We've got a complicated relationship, honey.
It is.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, it is. She always does that, but I receive it because I can take constructive criticism. I'm totally for it.
I love it.
Plus, she also told me I'm funny. So anybody was like, "Yo, you funny?" I was like, "All right, cool. You could talk some shit to me." You know what I'm saying?
I
So,
did.
but meeting you in that environment and seeing you as this comedian, that's why I said it. But I see you as a shining star that and I'm like, man, I see other people, and I'm like, well, I know somebody's better than that. You know what I'm saying? And when I say that, you're one of the people that I say I know somebody, especially when we talk about women in the comedy world. Where do you see yourself in the next 3 to 5 with this comedy game? Is it something that you're going to see through, or is this a avenue you're taking in entertainment?
You said, what is my 3 to 5 as far as my long term goals and short term goals?
Yes, for as a
so
comedian.
For me, it's always I always see past what's in front of me right now. So stand up is all. I will always do stand up, but I'll tell you, my ultimate goal is to be a late night talk show host. Like I never thought that stand up was the beginning for me, for the record. So and then being on television. Let me give you a perfect example. And this is the conversation that that Rodney Perry and I have had multiple times. So Rodney, I refer to stand up as like my boyfriend. He's something to do. You know what I'm saying? I like him. He cute. You know what I mean? He feed me sometimes. He take me on good dates. He try take me around the world. He got his check, his little pocket cute. He got a little coin. You know what I'm saying? But TV, what? You eat good on TV. TV is, but the thing is, between the two of them, neither one of them are that loyal. Neither one of them are that patient. You got to just go in. You got to know, go in, get what you want to get, and move on. Because see, TV, Hollywood is not loyal to you at all. You're only good enough for them till they're done with you. You know what I mean? So, I personally will always do stand up, but I don't want to have to do stand up. Like I'm not going to be the one that's going to drop dead on stage. So I have a production company. I have a franchise. See, I encourage and I absolutely implore people to, figure out a way to make your money work for you and you not work for the money. When I tell you one of the realest things that I ever heard in the movie when in Players Club, when that baby said, "Make your money and don't let your money make you."
That it's a lot of women still living by that.
Absolutely, because see, you can't. There's when I got when I got let go from Sister Circle, I was replaced by Trina Braxton because Trina Braxton had 1 million followers and I did not. That's a real thing. People are getting booked and fired based on how many followers they have. So what I'm not going to do is be in a position where I don't eat. So as soon as I got let go from Sister Circle Live, guess what I did? I hit the road and I went to my store.
And you know what? There's no more Sister Circle, so.
Yes, there is no Sister Circle, and guess what? There's no Sister Circle, but there's an On Live with Kiana Dancing. So I don't need, it's great to have something. It's great to have that platform. I enjoyed it. I loved it. But what it has done is proven to me that I can operate at that capacity with or without a team. And the beautiful thing about being a comedian, you're a solo artist, but you learn real fast, even though, Samora always say this, the queen stands alone. The queen does stand alone, but the queen also know how to work in an ensemble. I've learned so many things about myself being a stand-up comedian. I learned so many things about myself being a talk show host with a panel. So to answer your question, dude, no, it's not the all in all for me. It's really just the beginning for me. My plan is to produce my own talk show, which I'm doing daily.
Right.
But in addition to that, me having my own production company, I can produce other people's shows.
That's dope, right there.
You gotta have something going on because see, when one door closed, that can't be the only door.
Right, and you can't have that wait time trying to figure out what the next door is. You gotta have those transition pieces sometimes.
Right. Yeah.
Because what'll happen is if you sitting around waiting on somebody to create a job for you, you'll be waiting.
Right.
Who cares about your family and your kids more than you do?
You said the number with that one. You said the number with that one.
So
comedy is pretty much a major avenue in the entertainment game that you're in this business. It's just a major avenue, not the only sole, but it's definitely a major avenue, a major piece, a component.
Repeat that question again.
No, I was just pretty much summing up what you're saying with comedy.
Okay.
Comedy is just it's a major avenue that you're taking. It's not the end all be all, but like you said, it's the beginning of it. But it's a major piece in this game of in the business of entertainment.
But then also it's a great benefit because quite often, even as an actress, I've done multiple movies and I've gotten cast because I have comedic timing. And some people who casting agents will book you based on the fact, oh, I love the fact you have comedic timing.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. There is a lot of people I know with acting, just getting into acting myself. You have no acting experience, and they be like, but you look the part, so we'll figure the rest out. Oh, you do comedy, you don't have to act, but you know what I'm saying. I want you to be funny, so we'll figure the rest out.
Right. And then sometimes you'll get booked because you're funny and not an actor. Yeah. And you walk in some, and then that's the other thing. Just because you're an actress, just because you're funny don't mean you're an actress, and vice versa. So it's a blessing to hone both skills, and it makes sense to do that.
So how do you know when to be just a straight actress and when to be this comedian that needs to implement that funny?
You know when you okay, I'm giving you an example. You know when the same way that's not the girl you want to be with. She just something to do.
Okay, I could dig it.
It's that gut feeling. Like, I love this. Just like I'm saying, like, I love being on television every day. I love the way, I like the money, I like the energy, I like the but there's a difference. Because when you're on television every day with no audience, which we didn't have, I didn't get the immediate response from an audience that I'm used to getting in front of a stand-up audience, comedy show.
Right.
So I had to learn that even though it's a different muscle that you have to work. It's a different skill. It's a different skill set. So like if I say something funny, ain't nobody in the room, especially my panel, my co-host, I wasn't their favorite person. So sometimes they would respond, sometimes they wouldn't.
Yeah.
So if that's the case,
and I felt the offness when I would watch it. I was just like, I say to myself, watch, because I didn't watch many of them, but I watched it a few times, and I was just like, I feel like she's stifling, like she can't really just be, especially seeing you in host at the comedy club. It's like I felt like it was just kind of getting muzzled a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
And then so that feeling you felt is the same way I felt every day, magnitude by 1,000. So so that's the thing. So if you felt that and you weren't even in the studio, imagine how it felt being in the studio.
Right. Especially after seeing you, being able to witness.
But again, it wasn't that I couldn't be me. It just wasn't. It wasn't a supportive environment. So, for example, when you like you just said to me, you said you have you've been at comedy clubs and you've seen people who were better. Well, yeah, we all have seen other people who are better, but some people somewhere think these people are phenomenal. Comedy is subjective.
Right.
You meet some people, you think, oh man, they're funny. Like let me tell you something. I personally don't think D.L. Hughley is hilarious, but D.L. Hughley is clever.
Right.
D.L. makes me think like, man, that's fun. We're jaded. We won't laugh. We'll just say, man, that's funny.
Right.
Or like, who else I don't think he's funny. I don't think what's the man name? Dave Chappelle. I don't think he's funny, but he's clever. Dave don't make me laugh. Dave
don't make me laugh either.
Yeah.
And people look at me crazy every time I say that. I'm like,
Dave makes me think.
Right.
Every time I'm like, man.
Hey, you know they saying he's becoming the next what's my man name? I'm sorry, it just
write it down later. Put it in your notes. You know what? I really, really, really thank you for coming on. I know we had a little bit of technical difficulty early, but you got to do what you got to do, move forward, push forward. And I really think you taking out the time. Let the people know, because since you're doing it on IG, I know you have followers, but there's never too many followers. So let the people know.
No, it's never too many followers. Please, I beg you.
Where they can follow
me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. I am literally the same on all things social. It's at Kiana Dancy, Kiana. My last name is Dancie. Yes, that's my real name, honey. Dancie. No, I don't dance on nobody's toes, but I do it in the name of the Lord. Y'all can follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and my show. Like I said, Nancy is every day at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then on Sunday, we have something called Celebration Sunday. Although I fuss and cuss, honey, I know the Lord. And I just, on Sunday, I take that time to really just highlight his grace and his glory and his mercy on my life and those who are the guests on my show. So please join me. I would love to have you guys. And, I appreciate you having me on the show today.
Thank you. So I'm going to go ahead and let you go. Let you continue the rest of your evening.
And
So
Kiana, before we leave, it's Dick Gregory. I just caught a,
What'd you say?
I say Chappelle, people are saying Chappelle is becoming the modern day Dick Gregory.
Yeah, I love Dave Chappelle, but he makes me think. He does not make me laugh. You know what makes me laugh? And I'm going to go. What makes me laugh is a couple weeks ago, and I don't really laugh at a lot of comics. So I'm jaded on that. But what makes me laugh is a couple weeks ago when my mother and I were in the car, and my mom got stuck in her seat. That I was crying, like tears, real tears. Like that is what makes me laugh. Real life situations like that. My mother stuck in her seat. It's on my Facebook, on my Instagram. Please go check it out. My mother and I was dying. I mean, I couldn't, so those are the things that make me laugh. Real life things. Somebody maybe falling down the steps or whatever. But Dave Chappelle makes me think at a level that, at an intellectual level, I'm like, dang, I need to read a book. You know what I mean? So that's what I be on, but not, that's funny. But absolutely, do I think he's clever? Yes.
I have one last question for you.
Yes, ma'am.
Who is a comedian that you think is funny?
Gosh, I don't know. Probably a lot of comedians you wouldn't even have heard of before. Somebody, who makes me laugh? I love Bernie Mac. I'm a Bernie Mac fan. I like old school Steve Harvey. I like some more. I like
some
Dale
more.
Gibbons. Lord have mercy, I forgot this lady's name. She did a dope special. Bill Burr. I love Bill Burr.
Oh, Bill Burr is classic.
Burr he's amazing.
Yeah, he's classic.
I love Wanda Sykes.
Did you know Bill Burr was a writer?
Sometimes it's how she look, or it's the way she say a word. You know what I mean? So for me, as a comic and a writer, I look at things differently than y'all do, and we all do. Duke know that.
Hey, let me ask you this: did you know Bill Burr was one of Chappelle's writers?
Yep.
Yeah, that's that.
You know who else I like? I like what's his name, Neil. He don't make me laugh. Neil don't make me laugh. Neil make me say, "Oh, that's funny." He used to write for Dave Chappelle.
Oh yeah.
Neil, I don't know his name off the top of my head, but he's a comedian. He used to write for Neil, and I can send it to you. But he was amazing. Neil Brennan.
Oh yeah. Okay.
He's fantastic, and if you've never heard of him, he's very he's a white boy who is very he's monotone. You got to listen to him because he ain't really giving you a whole lot. He's not moving around. I don't, some black people, we have high energy. We all up in the sky clapping. Our expectations when it comes to stand up is a little different. We got to listen different when we listen to these white boys, and so that's what it is. But
what about George Carlin?
Who?
George Carlin.
I don't know who that is.
George Carlin?
George Carlin, yes.
Yes,
I
okay.
Of course, George
okay.
is amazing.
Okay.
You know who else I like?
All right.
Wallace.
George Wallace?
Yep, I
yes.
love George Wallace.
Absolutely. One of the coolest cats, one of the coolest souls I've ever met.
Is one, he not going to give you a whole lot of, I love George Carlin because the way he delivers everything that we were saying on things that how we feel, but we may not be brave enough to say it.
Right.
And he uses the stage, but he's not slapstick stupid. You know what I mean?
Right.
He's
exactly.
not corny. He's not over the top doing something retarded. Oh yeah, George Carlin is bomb.
Yes. Well, I'm gonna leave it on that, and I do appreciate you. Answer the phone when we call. So, thank you.
I answered the phone because she called.
Thank you.
Oh, you ain't shit. Get your ass up off my line.
Anyway, thank you.
Anyway, y'all, thank you so much for having me. I appreciate you so much. I wish you guys the love. Follow me, come see me, and I gotta have you guys on to my show too.
Absolutely, I'm always trying to be on.
Am I gonna see you at the top of July? You gonna be in the building at the top of July?
Probably not.
Okay.
The people still got Rona, and people don't know how to cough or sneeze. So what I'm not trying to do is be stuck in my house for 4 months and then come out and die because I went to one comedy show. So we'll figure it out. I'm definitely interested in seeing Eddie Griffin, but I don't know.
Okay. Well, we'll figure it out. We'll run across each other.
Yes, we
I got
will.
some mask and some gloves for you.
Oh, girl, I got all that.
Nah, she need a bubble. She wants to be walking around in a bubble. She gonna be fly as hell in a bubble.
Girl, I'm walking around in a whole bubble, girl. Anyway, y'all take it easy, okay?
You too,
all right, thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right. You know, we are real rebels over here. We always be taking over. So, but once again, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Shout out to our guest, Christy, for coming in. Shout out to Kiana for calling or picking up the call and talking to us about what she's got going on. We just had an amazing time today. I think it was a great show. But I just want y'all to really think about what y'all are doing. And remember, today, tomorrow, and always, stay living in today's time because...
we lit!
Yeah. It's lit, it's lit, it's lit. Yeah. Yeah. Ay, yeah, it's lit, and like it ain't lit. L.I.T.T, L.I.T.T, and like it ain't lit. Yeah, it's lit, and like it ain't lit. L.I.T.T, L.I.T.T, and like it ain't lit. Yeah, we lit, 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 yeah, we lit. It's lit. Cut the radio up, grab the phone when the live on. This the latest station in the nation, get your mind blown. Monday from 9/11, causing hectic 9/11. You ain't heard about from word of mouth. Come here, let me tell you. We got Tony on the mic, the celebrity of ATL, and we got Duke plus my dog Omar as well. It's a lituation every time you cut the station on. It's the lit network here, but we taking off.